So apparently, Xbox thinks exclusive games are outdated. It's a thing of the past. Yeah, according to Xbox president Sarah Bond, the entire idea of exclusives is antiquated, as she said, which is a bold thing to say when your console is selling worse than ever. We've seen all the speculation about Xbox as of late. It's not looking good. Xbox as a brand is a big red flag. So to say something so bold, that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how that plays out. Because let's be real, when a company starts telling you that the thing they can't do does not matter, that's not innovation. That to me just sounds like a big steaming pile of cope. And what makes this story so wild is that this isn't some random tweet or some kind of like marketing fluff. This came directly from the top of Team Green, the top of Team Xbox. It's the latest in a long line of "don't worry, everything's fine" moments that sound like a whole lot of brand grasping for air strategy. I mean, what else is Xbox doing? What do they mean by exclusives are antiquated? So let's go ahead. We're going to talk about what Sarah Bond really meant, why this might actually be the moment that Xbox is quietly admitting defeat. Because to me, this looks like it's coping and seething, like the song says, guys. So in her statement, Sarah Bond said that players have evolved past exclusives, that people don't want to be locked into one device or one ecosystem anymore. And yeah, on paper, I'll admit that sounds somewhat progressive. Let's look at some of the big successful games out there. Fortnite, Call of Duty, Roblox. They're everywhere. You could play that on a refrigerator probably, right? Mobile, PC, consoles. But there's a difference between evolution and excuse. Because if exclusives were really outdated, why is Nintendo still printing money? Answer me that. Nintendo's like the first party exclusive machine out there. Why is PlayStation outselling Xbox by tens of millions of units? Can somebody answer me that? Why is every record breaking game of the last 5 years an exclusive at launch? Xbox has always struggled when it comes to exclusives. Is this them finally coping with that failure? To me, that's what it sounds like. And it's wild to think that the president is saying that. So let's not sugarcoat it. Xbox as a whole isn't redefining the industry. They're trying to explain their failure. Okay? They're trying to explain why they're in trouble. They spent years literally devaluing their own games with Game Pass. They're conditioning players to believe day one on Game Pass means not paying the full price for the game. Don't you remember not too long ago that report was going around saying they lost millions from Call of Duty on Game Pass because nobody bought the game? It's catching up to them, guys. As much as I loved Game Pass and how convenient it was, putting day one releases on Game Pass is not a sustainable model. And now that the numbers are catching up with him, the leadership team's response is exclusives don't matter. Something's not adding up here. Okay, and you could say that I'm trying to attack Xbox and that I'm clickbaiting and all this stuff. Something is not adding up right here between the price hikes of the consoles and the controls to the price hike of Game Pass to stores literally liquidating consoles, and now we're getting this. Exclusives don't matter. Somebody make it make sense. This is literally like, to give a comparison, like standing outside a nightclub you weren't inviting to and looking in and being like, yeah, well, I didn't even want to go. Like that one. What's that? I don't know why you hating from outside the club. You can't even get in, right? Like, bro, Xbox, you're not breaking new ground here. You're not breaking new ground here. You're just locked out of the party. The party that Nintendo and Sony are having with their consoles, with their exclusives, with their millions of units being sold. And the wild part about this is that Sarah Bond herself once hyped up Starfield as a major Xbox exclusive. She looked proud on that stage when she was talking about Starfield. And now, I guess, since it underperformed, that narrative is suddenly changing. Exclusives don't matter, right? Well, how come Starfield mattered as an exclusive back then when it was first revealed and announced, huh? Weird. Funny how that works. Funny how that works, right? And I get it. Some people, they might be saying, "Who cares, then? Let them put games everywhere. It's more access for everyone. Ain't my pussy." Sure, okay, but when your console has no reason to exist, why even buy it? Especially when your Xbox Series X console has been price gouged by you. The prices got hiked to Kingdom Come by you. There's no reason to buy an Xbox for the price that they're asking for if exclusives don't matter anymore. And this isn't just a debate about exclusives, guys. It's about whether Xbox still even believes in being a platform at all for video games. They're pricing up their dev kits as well. They're doing like everything as a company to not be successful. Again, make it make sense at this point. PlayStation has a clear identity, right? Prestige, single player games. Nintendo has an identity. It's fun, it's family friendly, it has polished exclusives. Xbox, their literal identity right now is Game Pass, which is a service that has no soul behind it. If you take away exclusives, you take away FOMO. And FOMO is what sells consoles. FOMO creates hype. When you hear your friends say, "Dude, you gotta play this game," that's marketing that you can't buy. That's called word of mouth. What are Xbox gamers gonna be trying to tell people? "Dude, you gotta play this game," if you don't have any exclusives? Meanwhile, Sony's still playing chess, kind of, right? They launch games as timed exclusives. They eventually go to PC, but these games ride the hype. They sell consoles, and then they drop on PC about a year later for a second wave of cash. And it works. It's working. Nintendo, they literally print gold, doing the same thing that they've done since the 90s, guys. They make simple, exclusive, low-cost games that sell forever. Even if they're average, even if they're mediocre, even if they're not that great, like Pokemon Legends ZA, they only need 200,000 units to break even on that game. Xbox, they've turned into this weird half PC, half service experiment where even the diehard fans don't even know what they're doing anymore. You can't build loyalty if you can't stand for anything. And right now, it's like Xbox has nothing to stand on at this point. It's so confusing. And I guess we're probably not going to learn the truth until after this whole quarter ends. I still think they're going to sneak up and be like, "Hey guys, bye. It was great knowing you." I could be proven wrong, but we're seeing cracks here, guys. There's rumors saying Phil Spencer's era is basically over. Sarah Bond is running cleanup at this point. Microsoft executives above her, they don't even care about gaming. You think any of the bigwigs at Microsoft care about this? They care about AI. They care about enterprise clients. They care about actual big money Microsoft projects, not Xbox. When you hear insiders saying they hear that the next Xbox could be this $1,200 PC hybrid, that's not next gen. That's a funeral announcement, guys. I heard speculation they might just be slapping Xbox brand on other companies' computers and projects at this point, like Asus or AMD and stuff. They're not even going to develop their own stuff. That's the rumor I heard. They're not trying to compete with PlayStation or Nintendo anymore at this point, guys. They're pivoting out of the console business altogether, is what all the signs are pointing to me as. And honestly, it does suck. It sucks, man. It sucks, as Karate Kid would say. Because there was a time when Xbox meant something. The 360 era, Halo, it all meant something, guys. They built communities, they built moments, they built and pushed online gaming forward. They were innovators. And now they're just quitting silently. "I didn't hear no bell." No, they're quitting silently, guy. So when Sarah Bond says exclusives are outdated, what she's really saying is we don't know how to make you care anymore. That's ultimately what it is. So yeah, this isn't innovation, like I said. It's surrender dressed up as strategy. If this is Xbox's final phase, then we're watching the slow death of a brand that used to define gaming culture. But again, like I said, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe Xbox still has one last trick up their sleeve. Let me know what you guys think. Is this the end of Xbox, or do you think they're about to pull off a Hail Mary miracle, Roger Staubach style? Drop your thoughts down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, you can hit the dislike too. If not, suck it. And don't forget to hit that subscription. We're on the road to 100,000 subs. Love for you guys to help me out. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.